Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies and gents, got something I want to talk to y'all about. And we ain't gonna talk about no staying together or anything like that, like Al Green wants to talk about. Because just because Al Green talks about it, don't mean that I'm thinking about it at the same time. Okay, he's just playing in the background. He don't influence my mind. That's what happens with music and television and sports and all of that stuff. They are designed to influence you, make you do things you normally wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to be able to have some self control. Now, self control ain't easy, but you got to have some self control, don't you? Don't you think? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is January 1st, 2023, the so-called first day of the year. Do you remember what you were doing at midnight? Probably looking at the clock, waiting for it to tick tock, watching the seconds, going, "Hey, Happy New Year!" Okay, ladies and gentlemen, guess what I was doing? I went to sleep at 9:30 last night. I woke up at 4:58, 2 minutes ago, and I was asleep when that clock tick tock. And you know what? I don't think too much has changed over the last 8 hours. Well, almost 8 hours. 9 to 5 is 8 hours, so almost 8 hours. 7 hours and a half. That's my sleep span. And here we are. So, what are we going to do? How are we going to get through this year? Well, first, we know a pandemic is coming, so be prepared. Okay, so how do we prepare for something that may or may not happen? Well, we can get that may not out of there. We know better. We know it's going to happen. China is experiencing a wonderful time. And you know, when China's experiencing a wonderful time, they always send it over here for us to enjoy the same time they have it. That's right. They have an economic boom. They send us that economic boom. You know, they have lead in their products. They send them to us so that we can have lead in our products. What? China always gives us what they got. They get the flu, we get the flu. They get COVID, we get COVID. China always shares what they have with us. Come on now. Y'all need to get with it. Ladies and gentlemen, the we got a mix of songs going on in my background. But the one thing you all need to be aware of is you need to stop thinking that there's a difference in government. You need to really stop thinking that the war, the so-called war going on over in Ukraine with Russia is not scripted. Oh, look at that. The Ukrainians killed a bunch of Russians. Yay! Yay! They killed a bunch of... Uh-oh. The Russians sat up there and threw all kind of bombs at them. Apparently, they seem to be attacking their power grid. Really? How do they know what Russia's seeming to be doing? Don't you remember when the war started? They told us exactly what Russia was getting ready to do. I mean, literally. They said, and Russia is getting ready to do this, and you got Biden. Biden. Not O'Biden. O'Biden is, yeah. Anyway, you got Biden getting on TV at the very beginning. What are he telling y'all? And Russia plans on doing this and plans on doing that, and then we're going to get cyber attacked by Russia. And I mean, just sitting up there predicting everything Russia's going to do. And next thing you know, guess what? It happens. How in the world could they know? They can't even predict what the stock market's going to do tomorrow, but then they can predict what Russia's going to do tomorrow and next month and next year. Man, they good. I wish they would have told Jehovah's Witnesses, hey, Russia going to make y'all extremists. They gonna say y'all extremists and terrorists, and they gonna arrest y'all and put y'all in jail and break into your kingdom halls and throw pots at people and yeah, nice big huge cement plant pots at people's heads. And the European Union is gonna criticize them and say, "Hey, what y'all doing?" And Russia gonna be like, "Man, we ain't doing what y'all say. We gonna do whatever we want." Ladies and gentlemen, it's coming this way. You see, they introduce it there. See, California is the place where in the United States they introduce all the new laws to test it out on a population first, then it goes throughout the country. You remember those red light cameras? California? Yeah, California. That's where they started first. They test things out here first. Because if California can accept it, if it works here, it works everywhere. That's their goal. Well, they don't change. Russia, China, they test them out there. The little war that they call in the war, yeah, people are dying. It's real. People are dying. But that's your distraction, people. While they're doing all of that, they can look, ever since the war started, their masks have been taken off. People have been able to get out of their homes and be all up and kissing and hugging and being in Times Square and all of this stuff. Don't you understand? Ain't no way you can sleep if you think you're lonely now. Don't worry about it. It's coming. He wants to testify, y'all, because he's lonely. And this is the guy who talks about you settle for a steak. You know what I'm saying? So, what did we prepare for this year? Well, this is not about a prediction. This is about the fact that we stock up on our supplies. We are prepared. We're ready. Now, in my opinion, my opinion, I don't give my opinion too often. Okay. Now, before I give that, I want to. If you think you're lonely, everybody needs somebody to love. Hey, y'all know who this is? It's good when you know you got somebody that stay by your side and pick you up when you fall down and help you trip when you're not trying to trip, and somebody who's gonna push you in the back when you don't need to be pushed, and somebody who's gonna make you join the army when you don't want to join the army, and somebody who's gonna talk you into joining the army, trying to say that that's the way to make money. Don't y'all understand what they're doing to y'all? And if you think you're lonely, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm just like he is. I'm tired. This has been going on too long. So let's go ahead and get the conversation started. My opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, when I told you when I caught COVID, I was on vacation. It happened the same time, 2 months apart from each other. Well, actually 3 months. I caught it in May. I'd rather be with you. Oh. And then I caught it in the end of August. June, July, August. See, there you go. 3 months apart from each other. Both times, temperature went to 106.8. Man, I know that radio station. That station's all the way at the end of the dial. 106.8. Both times. They said they were worried. You should have seen. And look, I'm being honest with you. The look on their face was a look of worry. But guess what they did? Guess what medication they gave me? Tylenol, 500 milligrams a day. Now, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. And they gave me some ice water to help with the temperature. That was it. They give you remdesivir? Oh no, they didn't give me no remdesivir because I wouldn't have took it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't feel like I had a temperature of 106.8. Yeah, I knew I was sick, but I didn't feel sick. I just felt like I wanted to go to sleep. Permanently? Oh no, I wasn't going to sleep permanently. I just was going to sleep. Give me some rest. And I rested every single day. I got up, did a little bit of work, went through some papers, read over some cases, and went back to sleep. Got back up, did the same thing, went back to sleep. That was every day. I studied. Ladies and gentlemen, that was all they did. So what I did the first time is I realized that everybody was getting pneumonia. Well, I had already had pneumonia about 7 times in my life. The operation was the first time I'd had pneumonia that I know about. And I remember the doctors were giving me antibiotics, but they also gave me this little tube to breathe in. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Okay, so fine. I started breathing real deep, 15 minutes a day, as deep as I could, forcing myself to breathe. Why? Because I needed to dry out the lungs. But I also had some Benadryl. Benadryl? Yeah, Benadryl, it dries you out. And so I was going to dry out my lungs as best I could, and I dried it out. The only problem is when you dried it out, it was moisture in the lungs. That's where pneumonia comes from, moisture in the lungs. And then whatever particles get in them lungs, they bacterialize, they mildew, and all of that all be festering up in your lungs. Oh, Lord, what was I going to do? That's what the antibiotics were for, to kill the bacteria. 2 weeks later, they talking about, well, we're going to keep you here a little bit longer. You're doing better. Your temperature's down, but we need it to be down further. Kept telling them, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I can handle 100 to 104 with no problem. 106.8 wasn't a big deal. My body temperature doesn't regulate like everybody else. Tried to tell them that. They didn't listen. Both times, same exact thing. Now, when they found out, because I told them that I was taking antibiotics and antihistamines, they went through all my property and took all of my antibiotics and antihistamines. Glad I didn't get it again, huh? Woo-wee! That would have been horrible. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I did to scathe through the first time, but this one is going to be different. Because what COVID does, when you catch it, it weakens your immune system, no matter how much you think your immune system isn't weakened. So, I've been vitamin C'ing it to death. Even bought a 10-pound bag of oranges the other day. Ooh, wait, that's a lot of oranges, huh? And I ain't making orange juice. You know, they say orange juice ain't good for you. How in the world, how dare you sit up there and say something that the God I serve created ain't good for you? Shame on you. Shame on you. Well, he created marijuana. No, he didn't create marijuana. He allowed a weed to grow after Adam sinned. And nobody pays attention to the fact that marijuana is a weed. They even call it weed, and these intelligent people still don't understand. Well, they smoke weed all day. They like Tupac. Look, hold on, y'all. Now let's do this, because we're going to talk about it, because it's the elephant that's sitting in that room next to the other elephant, next to the other elephant, next to the other elephant. And there's so many elephants in the room that nobody recognizes that there's an elephant in the room, because there's thousands of elephants in the same room. Wait, is this encore? Oh, y'all know I gotta play me some encore. Man, y'all have no idea when this song first came out. This was my song. And I mean, this was my song. Now, if y'all don't know encore, I'm about to introduce y'all to encore. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, your love, good love, pieces, and encore. Your love, good love, deserves an encore. Just want to let y'all know this song right here, a lot of respect for this song. And she's right. Now, let's get back to the conversation. This one is going to be different. Why? Because everybody's immune system is weak. So, how do you boost your immune system? Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, I can't tell you. All I can tell you is what I've done. What did I do? Well, I got rid of meats. I told you guys I lived in New Mexico, and the property I still own in New Mexico, just haven't been there in years. I have a contract online, not online, on the record, which documents that even if I'm gone for prolonged years, it remains mine. I'm not concerned about the stupid property. I'm not concerned about all the acreages that I was able to assume and assimilate into my property because I was just doing it just to be doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't take it with you. You can try to hold on to as much as you want to hold on to. I've learned in life that you can't hold on to anything. Everything disappears. Everything goes, no matter how much of an effort. When they said the words, you can't take it with you, that was Solomon. They got that when you said you can't take it with you, that was Solomon. It was also Job, because Job said, naked I came into this world out of my mother's womb, and naked I shall return. I came here with nothing, I'll leave here with nothing, was what Job was saying. Solomon said the exact same thing. No matter how much men and women try to hold on to possessions, material things, they always have to give it up. Give it up right now. Okay? Love your good love deserves an encore. Sorry. This song, when it came out, I can remember the song. I can remember listening to it and waiting for it to come on the radio. It's just, even though she's repeating the same thing over and over again, hey, it's a well done song. The beat and everything is right there. You can see that it was designed for dancing. And she, uh, yeah, let's just say the words are intentional. But we ain't gonna talk about that phrase right there that they're saying right now. Okay, now let's get back to the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have to prepare the best way you can. And I'm sorry. If I'm wrong, then you can let me know. And if I'm wrong, I'll do a video and I'll turn the comments on. And I'll turn the comments on from that point forward on all my videos if I'm wrong. But many of you are not going to survive this. Don't worry about it. I mean, when I say don't worry about it, not the fact that you're not going to survive. I'm saying the fact that about me turning on the comments, I want you to pay attention. I won't be turning on the comments. I know that for a fact because many people will not survive this. And when I say many people, I mean a whole shiznick load of people will not survive this. Y'all need to, she's got to go. See, that's the part I like. I's got to go. You know, and you'll hear me say that sometime. I's got to go. Because I got it from that song right there. I's got to go. Okay. Gave that woman some credit for that song. Deserves an encore. See, I ain't doing no encore. I got to go. Okay. Um, it's just a lot of people are not going to survive this. We have weakened immune systems. Now, why is that? Okay. Oh, there's another one of those songs that's long time, long standing. What you find now? What you feel now? What you love now? To be real. Gots to be real, ladies and gentlemen. Gots to be real. Okay? One says I gots to go, and the next song comes on, I gots to be real. Keeping it real, y'all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to prepare the best way you can. All right, now, what's the next thing we need to talk about? How do we prepare for financing? Well, hopefully, many of you were paying attention. You have your credits already lined up. You've received them. All you need to do is start today, not tomorrow. Today, preparing your Schedule C, documenting the record as to your credits, documenting the debt, as we spoke about in a video yesterday. If you go back and look at IRS Tax Topic 453, it talks about unpaid wages, unpaid salaries, unpaid rents, unpaid interest. See, you can't have unpaid interest and unpaid fees. So you got to read it for what it says. Unpaid wages, then it says unpaid salaries, then it says comma, wages, rents, fees, dividends, and interest. How can interest be unpaid? Come on now. I need y'all to pay attention. How can interest be unpaid? No, it's the interest you paid. It's the rents you paid, not rents you ain't received. Now, look, all those people who got those so-called properties where they ain't got paid a single rent all year, all of you who sitting up there, I need y'all to pay attention to this. All of you who've been sitting up there in those homes, and you have not IRS tax topic, but Federal Reserve Act. I'm going to let that play. Forget that. She's suhooing. Let's see if we can pause her for just a second. Uh-oh, it won't let me do it that way. Come on now. Okay, this is the playlist right here. We got Evelyn Champagne King, Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Daz Band, Let It Whip. That's should be coming up right next. You know what I'm saying? Then we can go on down to Fantasia and and Frankie Beverly, and I walked through the maze, the Gap Band, and High Five, and Johnny Kemp. I just got paid. May not be able to get to Johnny Kemp, the late Johnny Kemp, but we gonna get to Johnny Kemp. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Federal Reserve Act saying that when you tendered the promissory note, your mortgage was paid. So why aren't you writing that off and getting your tax credits for that paid mortgage that you've been paying on all these years? Don't worry about 2019, 2018, 2016, 2015, 2014, 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, write off the whole mortgage because you have that right. Write off the whole thing. Get the credits and then assign the credits. Get the credits and then assign those credits to the bank. All you got to do is your research. No, I'm not going to tell you how to do it because I've been telling you for a year and a half now. Let me explain so that you understand what's going on here. It's 2023. You're about to be kicked out of your property because you haven't been able to pay your mortgage. You're so far behind in your mortgage payments that you could never catch up, even if they did give you a refi. So what do? Well, you take and you document that you tendered the payment. You gave them what you were supposed to do. That the obligation ain't on you no more. And then you send them a forgiveness. I forgive you guys for what you did. But here, I'm taking everything I paid y'all, plus the original mortgage amount, and I am holding y'all liable for it. And then you forgive them. No, you don't add no interest. You don't do no triple damages because, ladies and gentlemen, that's in a lawsuit. This ain't a lawsuit. So you don't add nothing to it. You do it for exactly what it's for. Don't get greedy. Many of you guys have been getting greedy. You've been adding all kinds of nuts and crannies and nougats. Man, what is a nougat? Yeah, I don't know what it is either, but you've been adding it. Stop adding the nougats. We don't need nougats added to the program. Now that we've added all of that stuff, we need to take all that junk out of there and just leave the nuts and crannies. Okay? And now we do our 1099-C. Remember, we got the credits. You can take and you can assign your credits. Assign it to the bank. Here's the unique part. I'm going to tell you this, but you need to understand it. Many of you are not going to understand it. Once you assign your credits, which are dollar for dollar, they are legal tender in the United States because they are a dollar, they are a US dollar. They're equal to a US dollar. That makes them legal tender. They're the same as a US dollar, so that makes them legal tender. They are dollar for dollar. They're equal to the US dollar. That makes them legal tender. Some of you guys are not going to understand this. You need to pay attention. So once you assign a credit, a tax credit to someone, do you know what cannot happen? They cannot return it to you because it can only be transferred once. Say what? It can only be transferred once, cannot be retransferred. There is nothing in the law allowing for somebody to return a tax credit that they received. That's why you can't return it back to the government. Pay attention. A tax credit cannot be transferred again once it's been transferred. You can't refuse it under the guise of the law. Now, wait, hold on now. I'm not saying that they can say that they can. I'm saying that the way the law is written, it can only be transferred once. It cannot be returned because that's a transfer. See, it's returned. It means it's being done again. So it can only be transferred once. And when it's time to go to court, you can show that you tendered payment in the form of credits. Well, that wasn't cash. Oh, no, it's the same as cash. Same as cash. The same as cash. Dollar for dollar. Ooh, glad we got that taken care of. See, I just promised to pay him. I promised a tender payment. There it is. There's the tender payment. And if that doesn't work for you, Your Honor, we can go back to the original note and application. And let's have them put on a record that that didn't constitute original payment. Come on now. Ooh-wee. Shouldn't that change some things up? But all of you can acquire credits if you just did things, if you just looked at things the correct way. Everybody wants to know how to make monies. Why don't you go ahead and get rid of them big bills first? Just showed you how to do it. Take care of that first. All of you got it. Yeah. You're going to have to stand in your square and implement it and everything. Look, I'm going to tell you this. Those of you who received tax credits, I want you to pay attention. They are dollar for dollar. I want you to pay attention. Because they are dollar for dollar, you receive dollars. This is not me making it up. This is what the law says. Go back and read. Type in Google. Tax credits are dollar for dollar. That's all you got to do. And then you listen to me when I say this. Lord, have mercy. So if tax credits are dollar for dollar and you received, $75,000 and you can do like that young lady did when she filed her taxes and owed taxes and didn't owe any taxes and got a refund. She owed taxes before filing taxes and she don't owe those same taxes no more and got a refund. Now she still had a balance and still got a refund. She still had a balance, I think she said $13,000, but she still got a refund of $4,500. So, ladies and gentlemen, Nike didn't invent the phrase, but why don't y'all just do it? Okay? Why don't y'all just do it? Stop thinking that this man is steering you in the wrong direction or giving you not enough information. You have all the information you need. You have all the information you need. Each one of you have a means of writing off something according to IRS tax topic 453 to bring yourself some moolah this year. Document your credits, people. Document your credits. Do you hear her? It's got to be real. To be real. Come on now. To be real. Real, 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 real. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ta, ba-da-da-dum, dum. It's got to be real. Okay, now the next thing. Those of you who want to start businesses this year, ladies and gentlemen, there was a young man who contacted me, and he was contacting me about starting a new business this year because he needs to provide for his family. The thing that he was suggesting meant that he had to keep a product on hand. You guys don't understand. The economy is about to take a big hit. Come on, let it whip. Y'all know the song, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the economy is about to take a huge, pay attention, huge hit. And when the economy takes this huge hit, people are not going to be able to spend money on your product. That's why business went out of business during the pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, businesses went out of business during the pandemic is because nobody was buying their product. You couldn't get products to people. Storage of products that you have to pay for that. You don't need to get into a business where you have to store a product and depend on people to come and purchase your stored product. You got to count all of those costs, the purchasing of the product and getting it at a discount, and when they raise their prices you got to raise your prices. No, you don't want to do that, not right now. Maybe in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s, yes, you could get into a product based company, but not no more. That ain't the way it's done, y'all. You want to get into an information technology based business. Now, if you really want to start a business that is going to be worth something, look at AI GPT. I think it's GPT. Yeah, GPT. AI GPT. Just put that in Google. Chat GPT. AI Chat GPT. Put that in YouTube. AI Chat GPT. And many of you will understand exactly how to start a company. You're just going to have to, you don't need to know much technical stuff. You just need to watch the videos and follow what the people are telling you to do. Make that your goal, make that your job, do your training. And I guarantee you, you'll be able to do something worthwhile with that. Many of you are going to give up because you're going to think it's too technical for you. That's your problem, not mine. My job is to point you in a direction that's going to lead you in a direction. You really do need to understand where everything is headed. So I just told you where everything is headed. Okay, I'm not here to waste your time because there's something divine in me. Woohoo! Woohoo! Hey, that's the Gaps and their band. All right, now we've gotten that out of the way. There are some of you who y'all want to just retire. You've been through too much. And it's such an interesting life. Okay, let me do something. See, I can't help you with retiring. That's not my job. I'm not planning on retiring. I'm planning on living. Well, that's what I mean by retire. No, that ain't what you mean. You want to take it easy. You want to not have to worry about anything. You want to have to be able to pay for everything without having to work to pay for it. Okay, there is no such thing in life as that. When your parents get to be 106 years old, 95, 45, 55, 75 years old, and they retire, you must understand they worry. They have bills to pay. Being on Social Security is not a benefit. Y'all need to pay attention. It's not enough money. Everybody needs to understand Social Security is insurance. So why can't y'all just ask for a lump sum? Give them a lump sum. And whatever happens after that, I'll take care of it. Give them a lump sum. Your lump sum is not going to be no $20,000 or $40,000. You better not come at me with no stupid like that. As much money I put into this, oh no, you're going to give me my lump sum. Everything I paid in plus interest. That's what you want to do. Look, all of your parents who have passed away who were on Social Security, did you get
the rest of the remaining of their lump sum that's supposed to go to you and your family? Of course you didn't. Look, stop thinking that Congress and its congressional acts are there to help you or are the law, because that ain't it. All right, just dabbing on that. Not going to go into depth about that. Look, what I'm going to do, we're going to have a conversation. Hey, Gappies and Worth and Fires and all of that other stuff. Just tell the DJ to play the favorite tune, and you know it's okay. What you find is happening now. Sorry. Hey, that the groove. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do a little bit of a getting understanding. You see, I ain't got time to be retiring because the God I serve promises everlasting life. Now hold on. Some of y'all don't want to hear that. And that's fine because you don't serve the same God. See, that's what I was telling you about. How about my God is not your God? I don't care what you call your God. My God calls himself Jehovah, the only true God. And he has always promised life. As a matter of fact, the scriptures call him the God of life. It calls him the living God. He promises life. And I believe him. I mean, literally, no, just no joke, no sarcasm. I believe him. I believe that he's able to do what he says he's going to do. And guess what? If he doesn't do it, then he allows me to call him on it. He allows me to say, but you said you were going to do this and you didn't do it. Now, hold on. Many of y'all want to hold him liable and accountable for a whole lot of stuff that's going on this planet, and you don't take into consideration the creatures in the background who are causing all the problems, but you just want to hold him accountable because you're saying he should do this and he should. Who are you to tell him what he should and should not be able to do? Shame on you for thinking that you had that type of ability. Now, let's talk to the sensible people. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody thinks God is taking a long time. I done asked him for this and asked him for that, and he just taking his time. Well, I realized a long time ago the only time God can take is his. I mean, who else's time is he going to take? Oh, yeah, he took Benjamin's time. Yeah, I wish he'd take his own time because he's always taking everybody else's time. That would be the complaint then. No, but he can only take his time because that's the time he has. So let me give y'all what's going on. And I hope y'all understand this ain't no Marvin Gaye or anything like that, but we're going to give y'all the lowdown and the hoedown as to what's been going on all this time. We talked about Genesis. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Well, billions of years took place from that to the second verse, where it says, and the earth. See, in the beginning, it focused on the heavens and the earth. But after that, the focus is on the earth. Verse number 2 says, and the earth. So change in subject, and the earth. Conjunction, junction. What's your function? So now there is a change in subject matter. Then when it talks about the luminaries and all that stuff, you need to understand the stars were already there. The planets were already there. But there was a thick, huge atmospheric. I can't see through this stuff. It's foggy all the time. You talk about smog. It was smog everywhere. Couldn't see. Could not see because there was no life. They talk about 65 trillion years ago and all that stuff. Do not listen to those scientists. Look, scientists are trying to date the Earth. The Earth is 17 billion years old. We know this. We know because we know how long the light from the furthest star took to get here. However, hold on. Don't listen to those scientists either about the speed of light. They've already determined by the, forgot which Voyager mission it was or which satellite that they sent out into space. And It went to the edge of the universe. Pay attention. They've already determined when they couldn't get the signal back from one of their satellites that they had sent out, and they went past Pluto and they hadn't gotten a signal, and they thought that, okay, well, we just lost it. And then almost a year later, they got a signal and they realized that the speed of light changes based upon the gravitational pull of the strongest gravitational body near where that speed of light exists. So the further you get away from the sun, the slower or the faster the speed of light is. The closer you get to the sun, the more the gravitation pulls on it, and the slower the speed of light is. So the speed of light is not constant. Go ahead and do your Google search. Speed of light is not constant. Okay, whew, got that out of the way. So that you all can understand something. When he created the heavens and the earth, he created that on his timetable. Why? Because the sun and the moon, the rotation of the earth around the sun, you need to understand, has no effect on him. So a day to him is not the same as a day to us. A day to us is governed by the sun and the moon, rotations and all that stuff. The scriptures say to us, his days are like 1,000 years. It's not exactly 1,000 years. It could be longer, it could be less. It says like 1,000 years. So it's not the same. His days are not the same as ours. If can you imagine if our days were the same as God's? Hey Jehovah, can you give us a day like yours? Okay. So if a day to him is like 1,000 years, pay attention. Then that means Billy Withers would be singing all the time. Ain't no sunshine when oh, look at that. We got sunshine for 500 years straight. The sun would never go down for 500 years because a day is 500, 1,000 years. So half of a day, 500 years. So a day would last 500 years and the night would last, give me the night, 500 years. Because remember, we're asking for days like his. Oh, how I wish there'll be that raindrops would fall. Nights like this, ladies and gentlemen, that would not be worth living in such an environment. Why? Because humans need nighttime. They need to be able to go to sleep. They need to be able to reboot. That's what sleep is for. It's for you, the same as you do with your computer. When you turn your computer off, you're allowing it to discharge. Why? Because all of that energy has been building up. Just like children. Children play all during the day. All that energy builds up and they crash at night, just like your computer crashes. That's what happens with children. That's why they can't stay up. We learn to stay up. We learn to stay up all night long, but children can't stay up all night long. As they get older, they learn how to do it. But when they are young, they can't stay up. No matter how hard they fight, no matter how hard they try, their systems crash. Remember, we're all computers. Sorry, it's all about programming. I know, but we're not going off into that conversation. We're just trying to get you to understand. Because of our programming, we were not designed to be up 500 days in a row and to be asleep 500 days in a row. Okay? So, just in case you were wondering why he takes so long, because his days are not the same as ours. He's responding to us within minutes. For some, it's taken hours. Can he speed it up? Of course he could. Well, why doesn't he? Because that's a question you need to ask him. I can't tell you why he doesn't speed things up for you. I can't tell him. I can't tell you why he doesn't cater to you, or why he doesn't answer your questions just because you asked him. That's a conversation y'all gotta have. Because he answers me when I talk to him. You telling me you hear his voice? No, I said he answers me. I didn't say I hear him when he answers me. Okay? He answers me. I understand. Not everybody gets an understanding, but I get an understanding. So glad we got that out of the way. Now, let's get back to how you guys need to understand. Not only when he created man, did he create man with the ability to think. Go ahead. Animals, they don't have the ability to make choices. We think animals are making choices, but animals are not making choices. Animals are instincting. Even a rat going through a maze, he's not learning. He's rechanging the program, but his program is a simple program. It's like, let me see if I could explain it to you. Do you guys remember those little handheld games we had in the 80s? Little blip, 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 blip. Those little handheld games? Simple programming. Oh man, they were so simple. Oh, you guys don't remember that the the most memory a computer had back then was 700 megabytes? That's why they called it the 700 Atari. Then you had the 800 megabytes, and then you had the 900 megabytes. Then we had floppy disks. Okay, none of that junk would work today. In the current system, none of that junk would work. I remember when I installed Windows 95. Y'all remember Windows 95? Because I do. I think it was 15 floppy disks to install Windows 95. And when that floppy disk was corrupt, you couldn't install Windows 95. Man. Okay, went through that a lot for Windows 95. Whew. Then after Windows 95, they came up with a piece of junk called Windows 98. Everybody had Windows 98, and they keep the nostalgia people keeps touting Windows 98. Microsoft made it so you can't use Windows 98 much anymore. Everybody wants to keep using it. Windows 98 is a piece of junk, but people want to keep using it. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, we're all programs. He programmed Adam and Eve to live forever. Go ahead. Told them the only prohibition Adam and Eve had, the only law they had was don't eat from my tree. That tree right there, that's mine. Don't touch it. No, no, no. Don't touch it. And don't look at it because you're going to sit up there and want to eat from it and you're going to get you in trouble. So don't do it. That's what he told him. And Eve decided that she was going to listen to a creature that she ain't never heard talk before. Ain't never heard any of them creatures talk. It was only her and Adam that was doing the talking. And all of a sudden she gonna listen to a creature talk? Yeah, shows you how intelligent Eve was. Wasn't that she was naive. That's where the word naive comes from. Wasn't because she was naive, okay? It's because there were no threats. She had not been told about any threats, so what did she have to be afraid of? Eve was just having a conversation. Her husband wasn't around, so it could be possible that she wanted her independence. She wanted to think for herself, but she let everybody know in the recorded history that she wasn't thinking for herself because she says, he has told us not to even touch it. He never said not to touch it. It is perceived that that's what Adam told her. TikTok. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, with that being the case, it's only been 6 days since that took place in God's eyes. Because a day is like 1,000 years. That happened 6,000 years ago to us, but to him, that was 6 days ago. He has been resting during that time. You know, your mother and father say, "What are y'all doing in there? Don't make me have to get up from here." And eventually they come and take a look at what you're doing. Well, he's about to get up from his rest and take a look at what's been going on. Ain't nobody going outside to play. And I guarantee you, a lot of people going to be grounded. Did you say grounded? Yes, put in the ground. A lot of people going to be grounded for their conduct. What I'm trying to tell you is you guys have to start looking at things from their literal standpoint. Everybody wants to blame Jehovah for everything that's going on this planet, and they don't see that he is still in his rest day. He's about to get up, and he's about to put a lot of people on punishment. Don't believe me? Thessalonians. First Thessalonians 1, 6 through 9. Okay? He says that he will bring vengeance upon those who do not know and those who do not obey. And he'll bring this vengeance through his son. So he's about to put a lot of people on punishment. And he's about to also ground a lot of people. Oh, you grounded? He's going to ground them in a literal way. Just saying that. So we are getting, and everybody sees it, everybody senses it, everybody feels it closer to that day. And this year, everybody's going to be in a lot of pain and everybody's going to be doing a lot of crying. I can guarantee you, because it ain't going to be a fun year. Go ahead. Can anybody see the end of this year? Can anybody see January 1st, 2024? Go ahead. Can you see that? Can anybody see what tomorrow is going to bring? You can't see in the future anymore, can you? Yeah, it only took a couple of minutes. The tick tock to January 1st, 2023, and you can't see December 31st, 2023. Now you have to think about it, but prior to that, you couldn't see it. Don't take my word for it, because I know what I just said makes sense. You couldn't see March or June or July of this year. You can't even see all of that. But now you got to focus on it, because a second ago you realize, wait a minute, he's right. Don't tell me I'm right. I know I'm right. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I bring up that at the end so that y'all can understand this is going to be a unique year in the history of mankind. A lot of things are going to go wrong. They're going to everybody's going to try to make it seem like everything's all right, but we know everything isn't all right. We know that there's going to be a lot of disease. We know that things did not get better because a clock tick tocked. Be prepared. All right, that's me going. It's 5:52. That's been almost an hour of talking to y'all. I'm done with all this talking. All right, I gotta go. Bye bye.